Right, new podcast. I've only got 5%, so I've got to make it count. I've got to blow them away.
Okay.
So, right, that's what he's saying. Right about talk about what you know. But I always like listen to what you're saying about the bikes. It's really quite. You learn a lot. The thing that you join me with my brother.
Hello.
Talking about bikes. I just be yourself. Nah, but so what's the deal? What are you actually doing? What are you doing?
Just changing tyres between that's 1100 GS, that's 1998, that's a 2004 GS. The
Yeah.
great thing about the GS by BMW is that they constantly evolved it, rather than try to change it massively. So this one, the 1200, is a lot lighter, but just putting the wheels on, the nice little change they did was it's single-sided swing arm, so the wheel just bolts straight onto the hub. Now on the 1100, the disc is attached to the wheel.
Yeah.
So to take that wheel off, you have to undo the
I had to take the
brake caliper.
Yeah.
But then on the 1200,
It's independent.
the disc is bolted to the hub. It's not on the wheel, so it's so
Right.
simple to get the wheel on and off.
So that's what I was talking about. See, yesterday I did a big long spiel about bikes and technology and the nonsense with the fallaciousness of this kind of innovation that isn't actually an innovation. What was the point of me saying that?
Well, I like the way that
Aye.
the more you get to know your bike, the more you take, the more you work on it, the more you can see the thoughtful engineering that's gone into it, rather than you feel like you've got a real link to the people who designed it, because you can see why they did something, and you can see the improvements they did to make it easier.
No, it's mind blowing. You've read. That's just the point I was going to say about that. See with the disc, that's what I was saying about the bike, right? See with the I was saying with all the developments, they've put disc brakes on road bikes now, so it's ridiculous. The time that it takes to service them is just too much faff. It's easier. So it's the same with this. They've developed it to make it easier. They're thinking, like you were saying about the architecture. They're thinking when they build a house, they're thinking about the fucking people.
Yeah.
Innit?
If that's not what's happening, then it's just the ego of the designers, or laziness, or that's just the way we've always done it.
Exactly. That's the whole theme. What I've been talking about, getting outside the box. And you've got an architecture. I talked to you on the podcast. I talked about you. Remember that? Tell me about this, right? Remember the time where you did a presentation, right? And you hadn't really properly prepared for it or something, right?
Bullshitted.
You bullshitted. And the guy goes, touch me, I bleed.
Well, I hadn't painted it properly, so the paint flaked off when he touched it, and it was a red plastic underneath it, and he was like, "Oh, prick me, do I not bleed?" And I was standing there going,
Prick.
"Right."
Yeah.
So,
but part of you must have been going, "Woo, success!" Filled like Jack Atkins, filled him again.
Unexpected success. Everybody else who'd spent time on it and done it right didn't get as good a mark. They were a bit pissed off. I could see why.
That's the Keenan genius, right? He didn't even try and he excelled. But I think you've read. I haven't got much power left, right? I feel like we're just talking the way we talk normally anyway, so it doesn't even matter with the cameras on. I enjoy it, but when you read there's a lot to. It's like road bikes, but it's on another level, innit? Motorbikes, the whole tinkering with them. It's art meets kind of like Charles Jenks, because he's in the area.
Well, it is art and meeting sort of technical limitations of materials and yeah.
So it's an art, isn't it?
And I think the more you work on your own vehicle, the more you appreciate it, and the more close to it you are spiritually.
Spiritually, it's a spiritual thing. That's what Drew used to say that about the cycling. He used to say, it's a spiritual. Well, it really is, because it's like meditation. Isn't it? It's like,
I think anything that you put passion into is to do with your own spirit. So why is it not spiritual?
Yeah. So it builds you up, doesn't it? There is a relationship in it between you and the bike. Totally.
Yeah.
There's a relationship.
The more you work on your own bike, the closer you are to it.
So does it take time? See, we could see if I had more power, we could talk about this for an hour. It'd be quite cool. No, but but I've only got. with your bikes, right? How long? Because I know it takes me time to break them in and to get to feel like there's a relationship there. How long does that take? Does it depend? Is there a
Well,
bike that you immediately get like a guitar? You immediately feel a connection with it. You go,
Aye, the 1100 GS when I first rode it,
aye,
it felt its handling was perfect.
aye,
You know, to me, and it's physically the right size for me. It sits taller, so it felt like I gelled with it immediately.
So you want? So how do you find? Is there not like a? Are you waiting for the? Are you? You've not reached. You've not found your pet. There must be like a dream bike that you haven't got yet, surely, because
Well,
where the where the shape of it and where it matches you physically and how you ride it meets the technical, where it's got all the boxes. Surely this doesn't meet all, or does it meet all the
at
boxes?
the moment, it feels like it is. But then you just modify it a bit, don't you, to see if.
Right. So tell me about the mod. We've probably only got 2% left or something. But tell what mods are you going to do on it? Or
Actually, not much to this. There's not much you can do. You could maybe do like electronic ignition upgrades, like a different chip for more power. But I prefer to leave it doing its standard power because I didn't want to potentially overstress it.
Yeah.
Because it's quite high. It's 80,000 miles, so the engine's got used to the way it needs to live. And then you want to fuck with it.
Yeah.
And it's plenty power enough. It's 105 brake horsepower.
So what was your Kawasaki Ninja? No, your what was it?
ZZR 1200. That was 150 brake horsepower, but it was physically too wee for me. I didn't feel comfortable on it. Sore neck, sore back.
So even though this doesn't have the power of that one, it's not really quite got the beast.
Power.
Yeah, so this still feels more of a beast in a sense, I suppose. Or
well,
does it?
if you gel with the bike well and can ride it well, that's how you ride quickly. It's not about just you have any power of bike you like, and you might not know how to ride it properly, and you won't be riding fast. You'll be riding,
You're sort of working against it.
Aye, you have to.
Aye, because it's Little Brie, innit? Like he was talking about. He probably doesn't even give away, like your knowledge, like we're just scratching the surface of the conversation and your knowledge with things. It's like Terry, when I talk to Terry, he's got a deep knowledge, but talking about it almost makes it shallow, even like you're trying to talk about something that's deep. Right? So, paralysis and that, you didn't want it. I just think it's interesting talking about, but at a certain point you've got to just enjoy the thing and know, but the deep stuff is enjoyable as well, isn't it? But you want to just get on with it.
Aye, well, yeah. It's like doing it and getting the job done. Remember to torque your bolts, you know what a wheel falling on.
Yeah.
60.
What else about the? Aye, that's what I was saying about the Brie, right? See how, with the deep knowledge, right, he tested it extensively, and he was all about, like, bringing it back to brass tacks, right, where he said, well, I've watched interviews with him, it's fascinating, he talks about, like, the answer to the question is, what is the question, like, what is kind of zen, and what is the question? He's saying, if I want to go well, if I want to become a champion, right, it's about, the question should be, how do I make bike and rider in the environment the fastest it can be? So it's about the bike and rider and the synergy of that. But you're not racing on Brands Hatch, right? But it's still
if you
still like that, isn't it?
If you feel like if you're happy and smooth and at one with the bike and riding smoothly, then that gives you speed as a byproduct of feeling comfortable and happy and riding it in a smooth way.
Yeah, and so talk about how has it enriched your life? Because I noticed that when you got into guitar playing and biking, right, it teaches you loads about life, doesn't it? Having a passion project, and it's more than a project; it's a lifestyle. It's what you do.
It's really, it's my hobby and my thing. What makes you feel good? If you feel shite, go out on your bike.
Yeah. I'll probably finish this because there's probably not enough power, right? But see if I was scared of buying a motorbike because I've seen how addictive and really exciting it'd be, and I'm scared that I would get too into it and I would end up killing myself.
No,
and
you
do-
wouldn't, because you'd gain experience and your skill level would reach a point where you're safe.
Aye. But it would probably take up a lot of my time, which is not a bad thing, is it? Like, why not have a? I don't rule out the idea of getting a bike. That would be cool, wouldn't it? We should, when I've got money, if I've got money, that would be the dream. Like, if you and I going out
That'd
on
be
the
cool,
bike,
aye.
wouldn't it? That'd
Yeah.
be cool. But it'd be funny. You could teach me. I'd just go behind you and learn how to.
Yeah, you just do what I'm doing. And,
Is there tacit knowledge that you've got to work out yourself, or can you just being behind someone fast, you immediately like 100th monkey, just get better? Or would I have to work
Well,
it out, like body position? How would I know? Like
you ride bicycles, so you'd quickly adjust to the weight
aye,
of the bike you're on. It's just
Yeah.
a bike, innit?
but that's the thing though, innit? You would feel like you're getting good, but then I would go, maybe there's shit that I'm doing that's wrong,
Aye, but it's.
right?
I'd be able to see that if I followed you. I'd be able
Aye.
to see what I think's going wrong.
So we could collaborate and say,
Aye.
oh, why braking, how you brake, and don't brake while you're, and.
You didn't want to brake when you're leaning the bike, really.
Aye.
You want to do your braking before the corner and then accelerate through the corner.
So it's just like a car. It's the same
You
principle,
don't want to
really.
upset it. If you think about
Aye.
upsetting something is grabbing brakes hard
Aye.
or accelerating incredibly hard in the wet. Smooth.
Smooth. Aye. It's like the Formula One. The fastest guys are smooth. It's ballet, innit? Well, that was interesting.
Thanks very much, I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that. I like talking about stuff. It takes me out of my head talking about something that someone else is interested in. But I think we only scratched the surface. Like,
Yeah.
you know. But I'll upload this to my YouTube. It's fun, like, because Alex and I did an hour thing talking about mental health and art therapy and stuff like that. And he got some out of it, and I did. And Robert up in Glasgow goes, "Oh, when you gonna do it?" He was looking for the. So I think I'm kind of discovering that's part of my role. You know, you're doing. It's helping Alex, you know. And it helped me talk about stuff, you know. But so what have I learned? Aye, what have I learned? No, really. We already know this stuff, don't we? But tell me something.
Following your interests and your passions,
Aye.
and immerse yourself in them.
Immerse
be
yourself.
humble to learning.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And then you'll meet like-minded folk
Aye,
as well, which is good.
that's it.
You talk shit.
You learn. You get better when you learn off other motorcycles. Because I've seen how you motorcyclists talk and chat about everything, deep knowledge stuff. It's fascinating. It's innit? It's funny.
Oh, I enjoy it.
Aye.
Part of the thing.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If anyone, this wasn't live, by the way, but I'll upload it later for a laugh.
Have you stopped recording
No, not quite yet. But
now?
bye. Thanks for tuning in. Aye, no, it's fun. And I can relax and get back to work. Okay.